Hi there, welcome to day 893 of What's She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom, at your service. This is the place that I discuss what I'm doing as I transition from the offline brick and mortar world of real businesses. I call them real businesses, which annoys my online friends. Transitioning and changing and adding a component of the online world, the internet. Doing things automatically and online and finding people contributing to my businesses in a positive way and duplicating the success I had offline online. That was my original intent when I came online in 2017, and I didn't really show up or do much of anything except get training and have shiny object syndrome for that whole first year that I was online. I fell prey to all the mistakes and all the things that everybody else does. And not everybody does. Some people are wiser and smarter than I am, absolutely positively, and they get online, they take a direct route to what they're going to do and achieve, and boom, they're there. And they look like overnight successes to everyone else. And it's because maybe they had 20 years of doing something and they knew exactly what they wanted to do. They found the exact right person and coach and mentor and system that worked perfectly for them. Those cases are like a unicorn, right? It's kind of like expecting to find a unicorn. They're out there, but then that person will take their overnight success story, package it up, and sell it to other people like you and me, and lead us to believe that we can do the same exact thing. And for some people it will work because every system, every process, it's proven successful if the person has done it, me included. I've done a lot of things that have worked out really well, but they're not the ultimate where I'm going with my online presence and my online world and the impact that I want to have on the world. Now today, Supersize Your Business was about the 11th hour. 11th hour is, of course, an expression or an idiom that comes from the Bible, and it describes the last hour that the world exists, right? The last possible hour of light before darkness, before the end of the world. It's prophesizing the end of the world. And the 11th hour, over the years, over the centuries, has come to mean procrastinating, waiting until the last minute, and putting in a huge effort at the end to meet a deadline, maybe at the last minute, maybe at the last second. Have you ever pushed a button right at the last second to send something before the deadline? Maybe you're doing your taxes, maybe you're entering a contest. The internet has made it possible for people to actually procrastinate more because you can get things done so much faster and easier than we ever could before. That it's easier to procrastinate, it's easier to put projects off, it's easier to wait until the absolute end. And sometimes we pull it out and we really get it done. We throw in our effort, and we really go at the end of the deadline time, and right in the nick of the time we finish and we succeed at what it is that we're trying to do. But I contend that over the years I've learned that the more I do that, the more I push things off to the very last minute in order to meet someone else's deadline. It's usually somebody else's deadline. The worse I feel about it, because I know if I had started sooner, if I had broken it down into smaller pieces, that I would have had a much better proposal or output or project or paper or result on a test than if I waited to the last minute. I don't know about you, but I definitely pulled some all-nighters in college cramming for exams the night before the test. I definitely found it a lot more fun to do, activities, sports, go to football games, hang out with my friends, maybe go to a couple of parties, drinking, because back when I was in college, drinking age was 18. I know, Stone Age, but drinking age was 18, so all of us in college could drink. And sometimes we went to parties and didn't study for our tests till the last minute. Nothing worse than studying for a test that you have tomorrow with a hangover. I didn't do that very often, but I did it enough to learn the lesson that it didn't work out very well for me. So, we're all human beings. We're prone. The exceptional people that don't put things off till the last minute, that don't hurry and scurry to meet deadlines, are people that don't do that are the exception, not the rule. I think that the rule is most people follow, I believe it's Parkinson's law, where the size of a task and the amount of time it takes to complete a task will fill the amount of time allotted for that task. So if I have 3 weeks to do a job and meet a deadline or a task, it could be a job, it could be a project, it could be something for school, anything. It could be I want to lose weight in 3 weeks because I'm going to a wedding. Whatever that is, the amount of time it takes to get the result we want will take the whole time. It'll fill the whole time. No matter what, we will dilly-dally or do whatever or find other priorities until the last minute where we have to start to get done on time. We do that. Time is our most valuable resource, so we human beings automatically allocate it to the way we want, right? Have you ever waited to send your taxes in on April 15th? Not this year, but most years. Yes, absolutely. Have you ever driven to the post office and had to toss it into the big giant buckets waiting outside in front of the post office? Yes. Not even in your own town? Yes. So 11th hour was the topic for our idiom. And I really find it fascinating. And I find fascinating as I'm thinking about this idiom that so many deadlines and so much pressure and stress, I actually just created myself and put on myself. I put and created more pressure and more stress to get something done by procrastinating or putting it off than if I had broken it into little pieces. I had to do that enough times until I learned my lesson that there's no point in putting it off. I also learned the power of deadlines in setting deadlines for myself. I think it's one of the reasons I love to do challenges. Challenges have a deadline. I'm going to do this for X amount of time, and these are the results I expect to get. And then I break it down into every single day doing something during that challenge to get the result that I want, or to guarantee that I get the result that I want. And then I help other people do the same thing. And I think I love challenges because it forces me to do things step by step, one at a time, and to spread it out over the allotted time to get a better result than if I waited to the end and did it all at once. Have you ever done a challenge where you come across somebody's doing a 5-day challenge? They're so common now, I almost feel like they're everywhere. But somebody's doing a 5-day challenge, they're guaranteeing the result that you want, and you find out about it on the 4th day. And then you quick cram all their hours of content into one day so that you can get something out of that. The result that you get out of doing it all, cramming it all into one day, is much less than if you had gotten it a day at a time and done the assignments and done the homework each day along the way. Now, most of those challenges, you can't do that because they go away. People take them down to create scarcity and lack so that you are motivated to do it every single day with them and do their challenge. And that this drives me nuts. I think it's one of the things I'm going to start pushing against because I get it. I get why they do it because, yeah, we human beings, we do need a deadline. We do need a reason to do something. And taking something away is a great motivator, but it's kind of fear-based and scarcity-based. I don't like it. I don't like anything like that. So, for example, I'm doing a 40-day challenge right now called Get Up and Go. And we're learning how to deal with challenges, how to deal with obstacles, roadblocks, things that come up. We're installing a process called SOAP, a foundational process in our subconscious, so whenever anything comes up, no matter what it is, no matter what area of your life, you have an automatic process built in that you follow on a subconscious level to deal with that, to guarantee, to ensure that you get the best result for you, a better result than you would ever get if you didn't have a conscious, unconscious, subconscious process that you're following to do it. Guess what? We all have a process. We all have a way of dealing with challenges and stresses and things that come up in our life. Most of those are not, they've served us well, they've kept us alive, but just barely. And they're not the way of dealing with any challenge or any situation that proactively creates the best possible result for us. They're just hey, this thing happens, I'm going to hide under a rock and run away until it changes. Not necessarily the best way to deal with a change or a challenge. Or this challenge, COVID-19 happened, and there's a lot of stuff outside of my control, so I'm just going to hide away, wait it out, watch Netflix, eat whatever I can get from the grocery store because, things are not available necessarily, and then we'll just see where I am at the end. The people that have done that during COVID are having much different results than the people that said, hey, this is happening, what am I going to do about it? How am I going to make this a time where I can actually benefit, learn, grow, become a better person, serve more people during this challenge for everybody else? Because lots of people are going through the same challenge at the same time. And no time in my life have I ever experienced anything like this. So instead of hiding away and saying, I'm just going to wait it out, I'm going to see what happens with the rest of the world and then react accordingly. I'm being proactive, and I hope that you are as well. If you're doing this challenge with me, you're definitely being proactive because you're figuring out, what can I do? What should I do? What do I want to do as part of this, instead of just waiting for the world to tell me what to do? I spent a lot of years letting other people tell me what to do, and it didn't work out that well in several areas of my life. So I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to just let life slap me around and tell me which way I'm going to go. I'm going to proactively choose the results that I want, and then I'm going to make sure I'm taking steps and putting habits and rituals and things in place to guarantee that I'll improve and get those results and have the impact that I want on the world. So it will be more than a 40-day challenge, because I've got 2 more days for sure of just going through the SOAP model. I wanted to make sure that I did all 7 areas of our life, right? We have more than one dimension to our lives and to ourselves as human beings. We need to make sure we're giving a little bit of attention to each of those areas, or guess what? That area, if it's totally ignored, will scream to get our attention. If we don't pay any attention to our health, guilty of that for about 20 years, doing the minimum to get by with respect to my health and my physical well-being. And I got messages from the universe, bigger and bigger health challenges, until I had a sudden cardiac arrest, which is like the ultimate wake-up call, right? If you die and you're fortunate enough to come back, you better learn something from that, or guess what? You're not gonna last. You're not gonna stay here on the planet. Just the way it works. So massive changes had to happen in my life, in all areas and aspects of my life, not just in 1 or 2. Definitely in the 3 or 4 that were totally broken at the time of the sudden cardiac arrest. Those things had to change immediately, but other things, other areas of my life had to also change over time. Part of the reason for the challenge, so that we always know what to do. So often we tell ourselves, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to do, I don't know what I want. Yes, you do. Yes, I do. I just have to sit down quietly somewhere for a couple of minutes of not insanity and outside stimulus and think. Everything we need is already inside of us. Everything you need is already inside of you. Everything I need, even though sometimes I don't feel like it, is absolutely positively accessible and inside of me, in my brain or in my heart or in my intuition somewhere, if I'm willing to open up my mind and see it, open up my heart and see it, open up my life and see it for what else is possible, what is there. So day 39 today of the Get Up and Go challenge, and it was about the O in contribution. I'm going through each of the 7 areas for myself and giving it as an example for other people that are going through the challenge. And unlike other challenges, they're not going away. They're going to be there, maybe much to my dismay and embarrassment down the road, but I'm just going to leave them there. The Get Up and Go page, the Get Up and Go group, which I don't think hardly anybody's joined the group yet, and that's okay. It'll evolve over time. It's going to stay up. I'm not doing a temporary Facebook group to make everybody buy my product at the end. I'm not even presenting a product or what I do during the challenge. The challenge is 100% about, I guess it's contribution. It's 100% about, how do you fix it to make sure that you're okay? How do you guarantee that you're going to be okay no matter what happens to you in your life? Guess what? You're going to be okay no matter what happens to you in your life. Do you want to just be okay, or do you want to be awesome? I say let's all be awesome, because it's a lot more fun. Fun challenge today. I'm doing a 365-day challenge to have more fun. And 2020 was a great year to have more fun, because I think fun and love are what pull us out of the chaos. Fun and love and positive things are what pull us out of anything bad that we think and perceive as happening to us or through us or around us. So fun challenge, I think it was day 184 today, day 184. And it was about sharing a weird story or a weird experience that you've had. And I say share a weird experience that turned out to be fun, because that's what we want to do. We want to find, just like with the idioms and supersize your business, I take each idiom and I find a way to apply it to my business. My business, you apply it to your business, and other ways you could think about it. I'll do the same thing with fun. How do we take whatever is the challenge and make sure that we're adding a fun component? Because, sharing a weird story, I think it was to write a weird story about, I'm not looking at it, to write a weird story about something, and I'm like, yeah, we can write a weird story about something had happened at home, I think it was. And I'm like, wouldn't it be more fun to share a weird story that turned out fun? Share a weird experience that ended up being fun, and maybe it was a scary experience or something totally outside your comfort zone, And then you got involved in it, and it was an absolute blast. I guess I could say rock climbing to me was something I was scared to death to do. And then as I was hanging from a rope, you know, suspended above the ground, excuse me, it turned out to be actually fun. It was still scary as hell, but it was a fun, exhilarating, exciting, scary, not just a I'm afraid I'm going to die scare. Because, you know, once you're hanging there above the air and you realize that the ropes are going to hold, then you know that you're safe and you've been safe all along. And once you realize you've got that insurance, that safety, then you can do things that you wouldn't otherwise do. Working on a couple more days of the challenge today, thinking about and deciding what's my next step. What is the next thing I'm going to do with respect to Get Up and Go Challenge? Because I'm working on the Get Up and Go Challenge as part of a branding mastermind that I'm in. Mastermind and accountability group and a coaching program. So I'm working on, I'm a member of that. That's not my thing. I'm definitely in that to learn, because I've never done branding. I've never done anything intentional, which is very apparent by my videos. And it's time, after a couple of years of just doing stuff and trial and error and figuring out what works for me and what doesn't work for me, what feels good for me, what doesn't feel good for me, it's time, in order for me to have an impact, in order for me to contribute in a positive way, to figure out what is my thing. And it isn't going to be what all the other marketers are doing online. I can tell you that right now, because it doesn't feel good to me. It feels, even when it's not salesy and you're just trying to sort out your people, it just still feels like a numbers game, and I'm just sorting out my people. It's part of why I do things organically and I don't advertise. If I'm advertising, yep, I'll find people a lot faster. But if I'm advertising to find a certain person, and that you can go either way on that. Hey, I'm doing them a service because I'm finding them faster, or I'm just looking for ways to build my business faster. I don't know. I haven't decided where I land on that yet, but it feels a little off to me, so I'm choosing to go the route that I'm going. Is it longer? Is it harder? Is it more work? Probably. It's a lot more work than just throwing money at it, but most people don't have money to just throw at advertising, throw at something, or throw stuff up against the wall and see if it works. So part of my mission is to figure out what can you do, right, with this, whatever your challenges are, what can you do to get the success you want, and what can most people do, not what can a few people do because they can get, you know, money, access to resources, access to funds, and we can all be resourceful, by the way. But what the people that I'm trying to help and serve, what are the best and the easiest and the fastest and the most efficient and the most resource friendly way of being able to do things? Not just I can throw some ads at it and I can get a big following and I can do this and I can pretend I'm helping a lot of people, but I'm really just lining my pockets. God, I hate that. I hate that so much. Anyway, have an awesome day. If I can help you in any way, ask in the comments below. Just ask. Ask while I have time, because I'm starting to get busier and busier. That's it. Have an amazing day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow with another update on what I'm doing as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world to the online world. And I am making a full transition. I've made a full transition. And my goal is to duplicate my offline success, which got a long way to go because I had a lot of offline success, and I want the same or more. I want more, let's be honest. I want to be much more successful online than off. And that's a fun goal, because the more successful I am, the more I can help and share and contribute to the rest of the world, make the world a better place. I secretly want to make the world a better place. And I guess I'm not so secret about it. And it's really funny. I must be super naive, because I believed until recently everybody wants to make the world a better place. And I guess it's just not so. Somebody burst my bubble and told me it's just not so. Everybody doesn't want to make the world a better place. So I'm hanging out with the people that want to make the world a better place. To heck with the rest of them. And the ones of us that want to make the world a better place will make the world a better place together. And everybody else will just have to suck it up, because the world's going to be a better place. All right. Bye. Catch you tomorrow.